Alright, hello, I'm Sims Dreamer, also known as John the Blaze 1977. We're doing part 9 of our walkthrough Dark Souls. And of course, it basically says there, but as I've said in my other videos, I'm making a mod that adds more enemies to the game. And, um, and I try to point out every time that there's a different enemy, at least the first time that we see that different enemy, that I've added. And uh, so hopefully that's not too confusing to to a new player and everything. And and at the least you're uh, I'm fairly good. I'm not like perfect at the game or anything, but you can see how you know how to do combat against different enemies. Basically I'm giving you a lot of examples, since I'm uh, have even more enemies than normally would be in the game. But we'll go ahead and get it off the screen so I can tell you some things that will be excuse me, that will be different in this particular video. Alright, here we go. Just make absolutely sure that it's doing that crazy thing and it's picking it up and all, and just gonna making sure that YouTube is still capturing it. Just in case this was the first video of this series that you've seen, I'll just say real quick that I use YouTube's live streaming while it's set on private to record to record these, and because YouTube records it for me, and then I don't have to edit. But also that means I can't edit it, unless I just flat out don't publish it. You know, I try, well, just like right then, sometimes I lose my train of thought a little bit. I'm not anywhere close to being a perfect commentator. This series and just a few live streams that I've done of Dark Souls with just playing is the first times that I've ever done any commentary. So, and plus we'll get it off of that. I always play offline, and that's how this is going to be. But yeah, anyway, but I'm trying to tell as much information as I can to to help a new player, or if you just or if you just enjoy watching this, and hopefully I might point out a few things that perhaps even someone that's gone through Dark Souls before that they might not have known, or whatever. So I appreciate any views, anyone that's viewing. I appreciate you for being a viewer of this. So just a second, please. Just say too, I do the nasty habit of smoking cigarettes, so sometimes when I pause, it's because I'm doing that, and you may hear the lighter, a lighter type of sound at some point. So before we actually get into this, and I'll just say too, if it sounds like I'm a little bit maybe slightly panicky or trying to talk in a hurry or something, I'm sorry about that. Maybe once I get into the game, I'll calm down with it or something. I've been working really kind of hard today before now to get something set up in Dark Souls, so that I'm sorry, I don't know what the words to say for that is, other than if I tell you the reason. It's not anything bad, so don't worry. Um, as I've said many times in these other videos that I've made, I keep telling about this problem that's happening because of my mod that's only on my computer at this point. Let me make that clear. In the description I give a link to the Dark Souls Nexus for my for my mod that adds more enemies to the game. And as of right now, as of the making of this video, it has Asylum, Firelink, Berg, and Parish on there. But I do have partially some other maps finished on my computer. One of which being, well, I basically thought I had it finished, but Dark Root's map, which includes Dark Root Basin and Garden and Forest, if you want to call it that. But what I had done is add, and hopefully this is the last time I really had to talk about this, by the way, just because of what I'm going to say after this. You might be able to hear the fan to my computer since there's no other sounds going on besides my voice, but because I had added some more of those NPC forest hunters that are enemies, additionally to the Dark Root map. I did that because I thought they were cool, and they're hard enemies, and plus you get a lot of souls, and I mean, that wasn't my main reason, but just to add more of those guys, because there's only one of each of those dudes normally in the game. For whatever reason, because of that, it was making almost all of the friendly NPCs that returned to Firelink, it made them be dead. And it would also make their loot be there in Firelink if there was loot that they dropped. Really, the only one that it didn't affect was the first sorcery teacher, and I actually did a test to go ahead and I won't spoil where, but go ahead and go where the more advanced sorcery teacher is rescued from, and he appeared in Firelink like he's supposed to, and also our friend Frapp that you haven't seen yet, that's sleeping below that water in Firelink, he also appeared the way he was supposed to. But still, other NPCs are dead, and plus, like Siegmeyer, our onion bro that we saw in whichever one of the early parts of this series, he has a quest line, and he's a cute, kind of funny little guy. The way he talks, I like him, and he died also. So that's just crappy, basically. I don't want it to be that way, and I think it would just be better for my viewers to get to actually see these NPCs, and for it to just be normal and everything, and for all the people to return to Firelink. So thus, I just put my I had backup copies of the original maps of Dark Souls, before I had edited, before I did my edits, and so I just put the Dark Root map back like it had been, originally, or vanilla, if you want to call it that. And then I use Technojacker's cheat engine, and I was trying to make the NPCs like be alive again in my game, but it still did not work. So because the events had happened already and whatever, so what I did was I just recreated our character. I took a bunch of screenshots of her levels and the items that she had and stuff like that, and so I just like quickly, and I also cheated to make it just do it faster, to where basically she couldn't die. I don't suggest you do that if you're a new player and you're trying to actually experience this game the right way, but I was just trying to hurry to get us back to the point that we were at. And so I have our character back with the level. All her stats are like they were in my last video, the previous one to this, which I guess is part 8. Yeah, and she has a claymore that's still her main weapon. I actually don't have it. I don't have it upgrade to +6 yet, but it's +5, and you know, and some other things that I've gotten. But what I decided to do, just to, so I could, I hope all this is making sense, by the way. So basically, basically what it is I restarted a character and got her fairly close to the point we had been at before, and but this way, with Darkroot's map being vanilla again, it's all of the NPCs that go to Firelink that are friendly are still alive, and we can talk to merchants the normal way and all that kind of stuff, and I can actually show you them and all that. So just a second, please. Now I'll just say this as a note, just to say, or just to let you know, the kind guy that, you know, this well, he's awesome, basically. The dude, the gentleman, however I want to say it. I don't know what he looks like or anything, but well, I'll just say Wolf2K9. Yeah, I don't know why I beat around the bush about his name. That's silly. Yes, he made the tools that that I'm using to place all these extra enemies. And he had messaged me that, you know, he would look at the Darkroot map and try to figure out what was wrong with it, or, you know, what was causing those NPCs to die in Firelink. And finally, after I thought about it, I mean, if he wants to look at it, he can just you know, for his own knowledge, maybe about why it's doing that, or maybe to help me out, and maybe I can make it back, you know, like I wanted it, and still have those NPCs be alive. But I've just decided that I'll end up, you know, re-editing Darkroot's map so that those extra enemies are just some normal enemies, you know, that won't mess up the NPCs of Firelink. I know I'm rambling about this way too long, and I'm sorry, but I just want to make all this clear. So yeah, so Darkroot's map is back like it had been, and if you've been following along with my videos, and remember, you know, basically what we've done, I'll just tell you what I have done is, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of quickly, kind of me playing at my normal speed of playing, I guess, you know, not taking long breaks and stuff. I'll explain what I'm doing, but while I'm doing it, but I've left all of the bosses still alive, except for, you know, the Asylum Demon I got out of the Asylum. So we're going to be doing a little bit of backtracking, you know, me showing some things over again, but I'm going to show you some different tricks and things, and I'm going to use sorcery more this time so that, you know, you can see that kind of gameplay, and, you know, just so you could, you know, I can't show two methods of killing an enemy that doesn't respawn unless I do it this way anyhow, so it kind of works out. Such as I was telling you that that Havel, and this idea did not come from me, it came from another great channel that I like that gave this as a suggestion, that said that Havel, you could kill him by poisoning him while you're outside of his door, that watchtower door, and he'll just let you poison him, and, you know, because the poison clouds goes right through the door, and you actually have to do it twice for it to work, so it kind of takes a while because you have to wait on his health to go down. So, but anyway, we're gonna just do it that method this time, because I've just left him alive too. I think almost totally I've left all of the enemies that do not respawn, I've just left them alive. So we're just gonna go do them again. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make this not just take forever for me to do these, you know, kind of go at a little bit faster of a pace to do it, but there's some interesting things I want to show you, and I'll just note too that we'll do the Capra fight again, because I didn't beat I didn't beat him in this new version of my character, and so thus we don't have the large ember. So I, you know, without cheating it, I couldn't make the claymore be a +6 like we had it before. So we'll do all that, and still hopefully this you know, hopefully this video will be enjoyable to watch, and you'll still, you know, still learn some good tips for, excuse me, you know, for some alternate ways of doing things. So all right, with all of that said, let me see how long that took me to talk about, because I'm sorry, it takes me a long time sometimes. All right, we're gonna get into it. She should look pretty much exactly the same. And see, this time I've only been playing for 1 hour and 3 minutes. That's how long it took me to do it. Of course, I was cheating to do it, but just trying to get it back to that point, or pretty close, at least her levels and the main stuff that she had. So alright, so like before, as I said, we're level 32. We've got that odd number for endurance, and so anyway, these are other levels. I actually had attuned all of the magic that I had, so that I had got this time. And yeah, we don't have any poise, do we? Because I need to go get the wolf ring again. And like I said, Dark Root is going to be back to normally how it is, so I won't, those extra enemies won't be in the way this time. Also, the Moonlight Butterfly is not killed yet either, so maybe we'll do that fight again at some point at least. So anyway, and see, I don't have that ring. I'll be able to actually show you that guy that you get the Ring of Favor from this time. So we'll quickly go do that and some other stuff, and so yeah. Alright, if you're still viewing me and still like me and stuff, enough to watch these at least, I'll show you something that I went ahead and bought that I don't know what pants she would wear with this, actually. I don't, well, those will look goofy. Oh, these. These. I picked up the entire, excuse me, sorry about that, the entire chainmail armor that the undead merchant in the Berg sells. So possibly that, and then this, and I modded it because I'm like cosplaying as Chandra, you know, Nalar, or Ablaze as I'm calling her, but it's a Magic the Gathering, you know, Pyromancer card. And it was also the first character that I cosplayed as I was playing through for the first time, and basically we're doing it again, so here we go. Yep, I made it look closer to the way her clothes are on the card and everything. Just because I'm a freak, I guess, or something. But yeah. Yep, anyway, that's the way it looks. And of course she would be casting pyromancy and not this stuff, but yeah. Okay. Anyway, we'll get it back to, I guess, back to this normal outfit. I'm probably going to be medium rolling with all this gear since I don't have that ring this time. Yep, I'm medium rolling. Well, I guess that I'll just show that right now I probably don't need, actually that's the one I do need. I don't need this one on. Still medium rolling, and maybe we still don't. Well, I did pick up this because I freed our our sorcery teacher over here, and I spammed through his dialogue again. I think though that his name is Griggs, because I think I saw it written. Maybe in Cheat Engine I saw it. So yeah, his name is Griggs, I believe. We are still rolling that way. That ring of favor and protection, or ring of FAP as we call it, just for short, it helps a lot. And Havel's ring helps even more than that with if you have you know, for your max equipment load. So I don't know, we may just be wearing this, but YouTube may think it's inappropriate if I do that or something, as far as my ads that can be on here. Yeah, so I don't want to be going slow just because I want to hurry up and show you these things. So I tell you what, you know, as I've said, you know, this is Cheat Engine. If you're on PC, you can use this. I do not know where I got this from, but a lot of, you know, Dark Souls players know about this. Most of them do, so you can find it in some way, and maybe someday I'll figure out where I get it from, and I can just put it in the descriptions for you to download if you want it. But my whole thing is I don't like my character to look hollow, and plus it has some other benefits, you know, and also I like to just lock humanity, the soft humanity up there to be 10 all the time. As I've explained in other videos, of course, but so that my drop rate is as high as it can get, and we don't have to wait on me to farm, and I don't have nearly as much stuff this time, all the extra stuff that I have farmed, but that's okay with this character. But not make it be 99 and my defenses be just skyrocketed. So, but this thing also can make it to where you just always fast roll. So I think we're just going to put it on always fast roll, just so that it just doesn't take even more time for me to do this, because you run faster whenever you're this way. Okay, so now we can just put on whatever we want, and I guess I'll just put it back on this outfit. You know, of course, it's part of the whole Dark Souls experience to, you know, get your character, you know, with their gear and their stamina and all that, or their endurance, you know, up to the point that you can fast roll, you know, without cheating. So I don't suggest that you do this just because it will kind of cheat you of your own experience of playing Dark Souls for the first time. But for our purpose, we will do this. And I'll just say real quick again, as I've been preaching, that I think endurance is really the most important stat, as long as you can two-hand or preferably one-hand your main melee weapon, then endurance just helps no matter what. And I've said this before about that. Well, with Ring of FAP, your vitality doesn't need to be any more than 14, and if you don't use it, it can be between 20 and 21, because a +7 SS flash will totally refill your HP bar. And personally, I don't feel the need for it to be twice as long as that, so that's my thing. And so endurance is much more important to me. I like to possibly get it all the way up to 40, so the stamina bar is as long as it can get, and plus it just makes your max equipment load go up, because it controls that too, and you know, you're more likely to fast roll. And then now, after saying that, I'll say again that if you're having trouble with, you know, assuming you're a new player, or even if you're not, or whatever, if you're having trouble with certain areas, you know, it just seems like you can't roll out of the way fast enough, or or whatever, you know, and enemies just keep killing you, I would suggest you just take off your armor, or at least down to the point that you can fast roll, and then see how it is that way. Because armor does protect you, but having the speed of fast rolling sometimes, and a lot of times actually, is just better than having extra armor on. And we have seen that before in the Capra fight, that is a small room, and you basically, that fight is very hard to do if you have on heavy armor and you're medium or fat rolling, as we call it, because you just can't get out of the way fast enough, because you know, you can block some of it, but most likely Capra, his attacks are just going to go right on through your shield and use up all of your stamina and knock you down. And the other enemies are going to be hitting against you also. So the best thing to do in there is to be able to fast roll and roll out of the way and run up those stairs and all that kind of stuff. And we'll do it again, possibly in this video. I may have to cut this one short, but I can go for at least another hour before I have to. So, because of, you know, picking my kids up from their school bus, so that's the reason. So yeah, all right. So blah 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 blah. I've got my souls exactly what they have been again. Also, by the way, although I've got, you know, some bosses are still alive that we had already killed, but I don't think that, you know, that you're keeping. Probably a viewer is not keeping just tabs on that just so bad, so much so. Surely it doesn't matter too much. Okay, well anyway, yeah. Close enough anyway. Here we go again. We're gonna kill this dude. We're gonna get hit by that and stuff. And, oh God. Yeah. I guess I'll kill this skeleton. I did pick up really soon in my fighting. I just fought just a couple of skeletons because I ran past most everything, and I actually got another falchion. And I went ahead and jumped over there and got that ring of sacrifice, but I didn't do it with the nest like we did before. So yeah, there's gonna be a few things that's a little bit different, but still, like I said, I want to make this video be educational and not just make you have to watch me redo some of this stuff over again. So I'm going to tell you about some other things that you possibly could do differently than we did before. Oh, also, I only have 5 humanity because all those people didn't die, and I didn't get all of their humanity, all the friendly NPCs, so we're back to that point again. Alright, I guess I'll show this first thing here. Well, I've done this done this. Opening up, you know, I did the whole opening up all the shortcuts in the basement or lower Undead Berg and all that kind of stuff. But there those people are, those enemies that die again. But checky, looky there, that fog wall's still there. Let me kill these guys first so I can explain how that was possible. Just so they're not distracting me as I show this. Now this is the method of doing this a new player could do. And I guess it would sort of cheat you a little bit about cheat you out of the experience of going through Berg the normal way and all that kind of stuff, but come over here, hurry up so I don't have to wait forever. I do have this, but it's probably gonna hit that. Let's just see if it'll hit him. Nope. Well, he's walking, so it misses. Come on. Old man zombie dude. Whatever. Let's die. Alright. Alright, so I'll explain this. Well, I'll basically tell you what I did. I jumped down to there and then on down to Lower Berg, the basement. And so therefore, since I did not go through this, well, it's not really so much that I didn't go through this fog wall, but since I didn't go through this fog wall and actually go to that bridge where the red dragon first sees you, you know, where you first see it, that event that happens, I did not trigger that event happening, and so therefore the red dragon is not up on the bridge that he's on, you know, that's on the way to perish. So that's one way that you can get rid. This method is one way you can make that dragon never show up if you don't want it to, because you can do all your running around the basement and everything and just never cross that bridge that the red dragon is on the first time. Now I may fail doing this. Now there's actually kind of 3 ways in Berg to jump down to the basement. I'm best at doing this way. There's another way that's you know, isn't all that hard either, but I just fail at that more often than this method. So we're gonna try this here. What I do is what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these stairs as kind of a ramp so that we can jump over that, and then we're not gonna jump on those wood planks, you know, that's a floor there, but we're actually gonna jump on that rail. And it's best to Estus when you do that, and then you just fall the rest of the way, because immediately you're going to be attacked by, you know, the dogs and stuff. So we'll try it. Hopefully I don't fail this. Gotta be a little bit further on the, you know, lowest part of those stairs, I guess. I try to hug this as much as I can. Obviously these guys probably should be dead before you attempt this, so that's gonna fail. And see, yeah, sorry, it did that. I already did all of this coming through and getting the stuff that's, you know, here in the Berg and also in the basement, and some of the stuff that was in Parish. Swing. Pick that up right there already. Alright, we'll try it again. Just to say again, and as I've said before many times, I can't edit this unless I just flat out don't publish it, so thank you for bearing with me with this, and yeah, we'll try this again. So we're not over here. I mean, I can't get it to work when I'm over here. I try to get, oh, well, now there's an invisible wall stopping me, I guess. Alright, so we're here. Sometimes I take this off, or at least a sword, so I can just see what I'm doing easier. That's just gonna fail again. I guess I'm a little bit more nervous since I know I'm being recorded. That's how I did it before. My thumb slipped as I was doing that. Yep. This, of course, is a speedrunner type of trick. I failed. I didn't. Yeah, crap. I want to actually show this happening instead of just, I've got the shortcuts open for, you know, for the basement, but I want to actually show it. So hopefully we can here. Alright, I think that did it. I don't really need to use health. So you're just going to end up sliding right here. There we go. We're here. Now use Estus. And those guys, of course, I've already had triggered them and all that kind of stuff. And here's this dog that I'm more powerful against now. So, and there's Capra's fight that's not done. In this version, he wasn't dead because my claymore doesn't kill him all the way with that type of swing. But I'll make a point right now because I'm thinking about it, is that I don't think he's going to come for me. I guess I'll pick up their stuff. Yep. That other dog, or maybe that other dog came for me. Oh, those, which I don't think we ever got before. Oh, this guy. Yeah, you're going to burn me and stuff. And I'm missing. One thing that I was... Two suggestions I have, especially for a new player, is, and I still do this, whenever I play melee, you know, with a weapon that isn't magic, and, you know, not the magic, right? Melee. Yes, we know what melee means, Sim Streamer. I like to make several different weapons while I'm going through the game, you know, upgraded in different paths, maybe, you know, some of them being fire or lightning, and then if I'm doing magic, then make one of them be a magic weapon or something. But even more so than that, just because different weapons have different move sets that can be useful, you know, such as the claymore. It can do that, which is useful for cutting off tails of bosses and such. And since it's a blade like this, I think that the game counts the entire blade as being, you know, where the point of contact can be. I don't know if I have another weapon that's different. Well, okay, like a spear, the only place that it, you know, it makes contact is on its point. And then, you know, I don't have any halberds right now. I didn't pick up the halberd at Parish. By the way, I want this to be different. Come on. It's not in there. I want the claymore to be at the top. But anyway, the halberd, we've seen that, right? It has a blade on the end of a pole, and mostly, at least, the game considers the blade part to be what is the attack part. So it's more difficult to cut off a tail with that weapon than it is with a sword that swings vertical. So that took forever for me to say, and I'm sorry, but yeah, so just different weapons have different uses, and one setup that I like to do is this right here, having probably the claymore and then a spear, because this does a thrust action. You can turtle, and it you know, it attacks faster, especially if you're not doing it while the shield is up. See that it attacks faster when your shield isn't up, and it doesn't take up as much stamina every time you do this. If it'll allow me. Then the claymore does. You know, typically a spear won't do, you know, as much damage, but it's a good way, if nothing else, to finish off an enemy. Excuse me, an enemy, or to have your shield up, you know, while you're doing that. Now, of course, if you have up your shield and you're trying to use your spear, then that's just, as I've said before, we'll just make it happen. If you have your shield up, your stamina bar goes up very slowly. And if it's not, then it goes up a lot faster. So, if you have up your shield and you're doing this right here, then, you know, your stamina bar, it's more likely that once you run out of stamina, that you're going to be staggered. if you just totally do this turtle method like this. So you just have to kind of be aware of that, and I'm going to try not to use the word mindful again, because I don't know, maybe it sounds more like I'm trying to scold people. So I don't know. So maybe aware is the right word, but yeah, just you know, consider that, or be aware, or whatever, that, you know, this is a good thing to pay attention to. It's kind of like the speedometer on a car or something, you know. That in your health. So anyway, we'll go this, I guess, just because this dude's standing here, I'm gonna kill him. Of course, this weapon is pretty powerful because it's that lightning spear. And yeah, just to say that real quick, that mimic that was in Darker Garden is no longer there for this revisit of this character. So I don't have that crystal knight shield or whatever it was that I had gotten from that mimic. So yeah. So I don't have that, but that's not when you would get it anyway, and everything. And so, alright, there's a bunch of different things I need to show you with this. I guess, well, unless you use my mod, you wouldn't have this weapon yet. Well, you could have this weapon yet. If you go get you don't have to kill this boss to get to where this weapon would be normally in the game. Yeah, so it's possible. There's just, as I've said before, there's just so many different avenues to take, and you know, there are bosses that you have to beat to progress, but there's alternate ways to go to them. Some of them you can do them in different orders, and there's other bosses that you don't even have to beat at all to beat the game, but they're just extra things that you'll get. You of course will get souls, and you'll get different loot and stuff. And this video is just becoming a ramble again, and I'm sorry about that. One thing I'll point out, since I'm thinking about it, this fight, at least in my own experience, is that these spells, and we have it off of that, so, you know, sorcery, that's range, you know, range, like that. Unless you came to this fight with okay, I'll just say it this way. This fight is very hard, in my opinion, to do with range sorcery, or with, you know, range pyromancy, because it's such an enclosed space, and you've got those enemies coming for you, and then if Capra hits you, then the boss, you know, hits you, then it's going to stagger you really bad and stuff, and the blades of his weapon is his two weapons that he holds at the same time, that they're really long, you know, so he takes up a lot of room in this arena that he's in. So it seems like I just never can get back that far enough from him to cast this, especially since casting it takes a little bit of time to happen. It's not instant. Now that's one thing too I just thought about to note, is that just to point out, is that whenever you cast, I'll just do it again with this, watch my stamina. It doesn't take any stamina. Magic in Dark Souls 1 does not consume any stamina. So that's one great thing about it, you know, one of the many great things about it. Another thing that somewhat makes it OP, but whatever. So yeah, anyway, I won't be using these type of spells probably while I'm in there, unless you had really powerful magic at this point, some way, like you had skipped this fight and you had gone later into the game and got the more powerful spells. Then you could go in there and possibly your magic would stagger Capra Demon, or just flat out kill him really quickly. But these spells are probably not going to stagger him, or it'll take several casts for it to happen. So yeah. So anyway, and plus I do have it. Well, that's something I can wear. I did get the boost sorcery, and I've got this, so I might as well wear that right now. Oh, okay, so excuse me. I don't know. So since I'm talking about this so much, I guess I'll just go ahead and do this fight. I can have both of these on again, and we're gonna, yeah, try to do it this way. I guess I should have my health up all the way. Again, if this is the only video that you've seen, I'll say this too, that I've added in my mod. I've added more enemies to. I've added enemies to boss fights, so there's 2 extra enemies in this boss fight also. But I have not modded the entire game as of yet with more enemies. So let's see. We'll do this, I guess. I may just totally use the sword this time also. He's gonna hit me and stuff, and I'm a little more leveled up than I was the last time I came here, but I targeted him, which I don't really want to hit him, but cool. Okay, and I hit a dog too. Alright. I actually staggered them. Alright, let's actually try it. I would not suggest it be this really slow spell. The great heavy. The heavy versions of these. But we'll try this. Alright, cool. So, I can't hardly even see the casting, but there we go. Alright, so, you know, as I said, I went that way too. I got the stuff that was that direction and opened the shortcut that goes back to Berg. I've also, you know, got the ladder that goes to Berg's bonfire and goes up to the, you know, up to the Red Dragon or Drake or whatever. It's a bridge, you know, that's open up, and all those kinds of things are open. But I guess since we're already here, we'll go ahead and go to depths again, and this way we can finally actually see that pyromancy teacher. So that's what we're gonna go do, and I guess I'll hit this guy this way, and we'll use some sorcery this time to do it. Even though I only have 4 S's flask. Sorry if you're hearing some noise that's here in my home. Alright. Okay, you know, I had not come back down here again in this redo of my character. So all these butchers are alive again. But the ones that actually come with the game, I've added one in my game, but the ones that come with the game, they do not respawn. So that's why I want more of them, because they're cool enemies, and there's only 2 of them in the entire game, you know. So, oh, maybe this time I'll actually try to do this method of jumping down there. I have a, okay, I'm sorry. There's some noise that I'm gonna have to mute, which is not in the right spot, the right back. So let me move that for you. Alright, I'm back. Basically. Uh, hopefully this video is all one continuous video. The OBS lost connection for a while. I kept having to try to mess with it. I moved it over so I could see it, so that looks even more bizarre, maybe. We may hear some noise, but I really just there's at least two things that I want to show in this video, so I'm trying to get to it. Alright, making sure that I'm being picked up when I talk. Alright. Well, I guess I'll make sure that this is on here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I was going to try to do this jump here that isn't necessary, but we can just do. Well, I guess first, actually, maybe this is powerful enough to kill them one shot with that ring. It is. Wow. Right. I don't know exactly how much it increases the damage, but offhand, I don't know how much the ring right here increases the damage, but it's pretty useful for doing that. So I also say that before I had said that you can shoot something at that butcher if you want once you're down there, but you don't have to do that. Once you get close enough to him, he'll just drop down. So yeah, which I guess, I don't know, I'll guess I'll let it happen that way this time. So we're gonna try to jump this time. But I missed because I was going at an angle, kind of. Oh, and that guy's attack is just so devastating. Apparently a lot of people don't like these torch guys, but whatever. Yeah. Alright, let's try it. Even though I've got everybody out of the way, I'm gonna try it anyway. There we go. Yay. Yay, we're here. So it's more difficult, really. That thing doesn't die on one hit. These guys, he made it this time, or this is the real one, I don't know. And see, that's why I was saying that, well, he's doing it for me, but sometimes I come up here and just break these tables, which you have to swing at to do. You can't just roll into them, because it just gives you more room. Because he'll just break through them, so it's not in his way, really. He's really hard to stagger, though. Let's see if we can just finish him off with some sorcery. If I could back up enough from him, I could just use this, and this might finish him off. Yep. But right, see, it takes longer to cast, so. Another thing I'll just point out again too is that I still even do it now, even though I'm pretty experienced at this game. One of the best things to do is to hold up your shield, let the enemy hit your shield, which will probably stagger them unless they're a real beefy big enemy, and then all you have to do is push Y, at least on Xbox controller, and then you're two-handed and you'll do more damage. So, you know, of course, the Claymore is got many useful moves, so sometimes the swinging one-handed is better. Now that's actually something else I was basically trying to say before, just to say it again, that I highly recommend this weapon for a new player to use, because it's just really good. The Claymore. Very useful moveset. This on him again. It won't go through that though. Alright, pick this up again. Now that means all the stuff in the depths is not done yet again, but anyway, this video or the next will end up running through there. Alright, so I will have to fight that other butcher. And then we'll finally get to see that pyro teacher. At least in my game, we'll get to see him finally. Getting kind of tired of you, dude. As in this butcher. Well, that does enough damage to stagger, and I'm glad that didn't kill me. There. Alright. This guy, who I don't know if he tells you his name right now.
You. Yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
Now, I don't know where I completely said this right last time, but don't swing. Please don't swing, because you'll damage him. So just roll into this to let him out. So there we go, and he will listen to him. He's the man version of this, so, of a pyro person.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, or the Great Scott. I will not forget my debt to you.
Well, he kind of mumbles his name, so I don't really know how to pronounce it, so.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Try that again.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Yep. So, he doesn't tell you he's going back to Firelink, but that's what he does. Which we could actually just warp to Firelink. So, I guess we will. Don't think there's anything else that I necessarily need to get. Let me think just a moment, please. Nah, no. Alrighty, and this guy's still alive, and I could actually show you some way to cheese this guy, except I did say that a new player should listen to him. Assuming you're not listening to me in this walkthrough or some other walkthrough, this guy will tell you vaguely will tell you information that a new player wouldn't know about. Like he'll mention that elevator to Parish and the fact that there's a ring, there's a bell you have to ring that's below in Blighttown. In Blighttown, he'll actually mention it by name, but there's a way to cheese him, actually. Which means to kill an enemy in an easy way. That's kind of a cheap way to kill him. So, here's our dude. He likes to sit here. Now, I'll just say, even before I start talking to him, that the question that he asked, because as I said, it's best to pay attention to what the NPCs are saying. So, he's going to ask his question in kind of a weird way, and you need to answer no to it. Now, if you say yes, then he'll be like, oh, well, that's a shame, or whatever, and then after his dialogue is done, I think you can just talk to him again and then answer correctly that time. And it'll be fine. He won't be mad at you, but, yeah.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swarm, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
No, I don't find magic unsavory.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Why, let's get started right now.
All right, hurry up. And let me just make sure I'm being captured. And that this is actually doing that. Okay. It's really private and stuff, at least right now. Okay, so I'll say that if you did not start as a pyromancer, and because you're already started as a pyromancer, you have the pyromancy flame, then he'll say that, you know, you have a knack for it or whatever. It doesn't matter what class you start at as for this, and he'll give you a pyromancy flame. So yeah, this is how you would get it. So we'll come in here and actually purchase these things this time. Fire orb is pretty expensive compared to everything else, but we'll go ahead and buy that, and we'll get combustion, and we could have another fireball if we wanted, which barely costs anything, so we'll get it. This spell here, Iron Flesh, as I've said before, it's good to read descriptions and look at the stats of your character and your weapons. But at any rate, I'll just get it off of that. What it does is it makes your character. It's a pyromancy that you cast on yourself, and it makes your character look like they're made out of metal or something, and you can't run or walk or anything. You move very slowly, but you have much more defense than normal and much more poise than normal. So it can be useful. And it's temporary, of course. And also, these two spells here, they do not get more powerful with your pyromancy flame. So you could just use the basic pyromancy flame without upgrading it with this guy here or with one of the other people that can do it. And so yeah. And then this spell, Flash Sweat, it makes you have more defense to fire temporarily. So there's actually a really good use for it that will be later. Probably it won't be in this video. I can pretty much guarantee, but we'll get to that point where we can have a great use for this. So I'll just go ahead and buy it, and I guess I'll just go ahead and buy this too. We can still upgrade just a little bit our pyromancy flame. This will take more souls every time, so we'll just go the max amount that we can go, I suppose, for now. So yeah, there's other stuff I could say about this, but I guess I won't for now. But yeah,
Goodbye then.
goodbye. And I'll just point out too real quick that the put it on the weapon just because I want it to be a visual aid. The pyromancy, first of all, it has no weight at all. It weighs 0, so it won't add to your equipment load, and it does not scale with any stat over here. It scales by upgrading the pyromancy flame, which is great. You know, it's great. You don't have to increase intelligence, which makes every other level up, you know, it makes level ups cost more the more that you level things up. But if you're trying to do both at the same time, then it becomes really costly. So we'll probably not go, well, I don't know. There's some, we may kind of go crazy with the pyromancy flame upgrades because there's another NPC that I want to show you that won't appear until we have this upgraded further. I think to +10, and then she would appear, but it won't be in Firelink though. Okay, wow, yeah, blah blah blah, right? And oh, this bunch over here is gonna be here because these people, this dude's still alive, and this girl, her hood is, I modded her hood for my own character, but it affects her too, so that's why it's white and the rest of it is not. Anyway, this is the main miracle teacher, but you can't buy miracles from her right now, and what she's going to say I just think does not matter whether you're hollow or human, so let's hear her.
You are undead as well? Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
And then this dude, what he's going to say to me.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
Yeah, screw him, basically, right? Because he said that to us, that we're human and we look nice, you know? And this guy is just crazy, basically.
Hmm? Hmm?
Huh.
Hmm?
Well, that's weird because, I mean, that's weird anyway, but usually he goes, na 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 na, or some crap like that. So, whatever. Yeah, you're nutty. I guess, at least for now, just try to, remember that these people are here. I think this girl's name is Ray. I don't know if these guys have names. They're just her entourage. She is appearing because because I just beat Capra Demon. That's when they appear. And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to disappear again after 2 bosses are killed. That's part of why I haven't killed Capra and then some more bosses, by the way. Maybe this guy will tell us something about it.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, and miracles?
Yeah, but I don't want
Come
miracles.
again?
Yeah. Okay, fine. So, he'll do like he says. Once he leaves, then he'll be gone for a little while, but then he'll come back before they're back. Or, you know, he'll come back. He won't stay gone. But yeah, this whole faith thing's kind of complicated how all this works. Yeah. Alright, that dude, and then I haven't killed the gargoyles either, yet, so this is not snoring yet. This guy that's named Patches, he's not here yet, because you wouldn't have come to him yet in the game. So, and our man Onion Bro, his loot was over here because he was dead. Well, he's still alive, and yay, they're all alive. And this guy that was down here, and I'm still gonna kill him, like I said, when I go get him, which I think is the next thing I'm doing, because I don't want her dead and for Firelink's bonfire to not work. Even though it's temporary, later in the game we can avenge that and get her back and stuff. And okay, this dude, I guess I'll show this. First I'm going to go kill these guys that are up here that will be in the way of what I want to do. So yet again we have to kill these dudes. Might as well just kill every one of these guys. Just to make sure they don't get in my way as I'm trying to do this. Alright, and then there's one more down here. Okay, so what the plan? I'll just say the plan is that, and I can't see him. The game just doesn't load his texture until you get closer to him, maybe, or I don't know. Anyway, what the plan is that up there, you'll basically see it when I do it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick him. I'm going to jump to that underneath the waterway part, and his AI is too dumb to know how to also jump that way, so I mean more than likely he's going to fall off the cliff to his death, and he doesn't drop any loot. All we're going to get is 1,000 souls for this, but this is a way to get 1,000 souls at the beginning of the game if you wanted to do it that way. But like I said, if you're a new player, it's good to just listen to them. But this is a way to do it. And actually, nah, I'll just say too that once this person has, or maybe even before this person over here has woken up, especially if you talk to him, this guy, he's going to say that he's tired of all the snoring and everything, and he's going to move somewhere else. Well, where he moves is down into Nulanda ruins somewhere, and he's hollow and he attacks you. So, yeah. Okay, I guess I'll show. I'm going to make sure that this is really my bonfire. I'm going to show that he parries and he's pretty hard. Even maybe for me right now at this level. So, you have to hit him maybe more than once.
How's he a rat? You
Alright, now I can target him.
may be crestfallen, but I'm not.
Well, I hit him.
You rascal! You will
See,
soon
there he
regret
goes. He parries. Ah, that killed me. That's going to make it more complicated.
Embarrassing. I do not believe
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing to get killed by you, isn't it, dude? So, another thing is that he's going to be mad for the rest of the game, and it's going to make it to where you can't use Firelink's bonfire. So, I think I may actually use this method to make him not be following me, so I can get these guys out of the way again. Yet again, we're fighting these dudes. So that guy, I guess, is down there, and just die already. I'm using the wrong shield for this, by the way, but it does increase stamina, at least, you know, for the fire bombs. Alright, this dude will probably come down and grab, so I keep forgetting about magic, by the way. I could just use that. Alright, and most importantly, I need to get this guy out of my way. Alright, so let's go wake up that dude again. I don't know if he would damage your other teachers, so probably best to not get close. Yep, he's using that that heater shield and got on chain armor, right, except for the head part. So just kind of make sure that he's still following, and hopefully I can get him in view when I do this. Come on, idiot. Dude, no, come on. Thank you. Give me the souls for it. Alright, 1,000. And I missed. No, that didn't work. Fuck. Well, here's another thing that is possible in the game, is if you're falling to your death, if you can quit out really fast, like that, before, you know, before it's totally finished with the you dying, you know, you've died part, then you can cheat death that way, and it will just put you back up where you had been before you started falling, I think. So, it'll keep you from dying. It's possible it is for it to happen. Well, I want those souls back. So, that I just got from that dude, and the game counted that it was over there, so yeah, yet again I have to kill these guys. Isn't that just my luck? Overkill him because now see, there's one thing you can do here is shoot that guy. That missed because he was moving to the side, and then this guy, the dude that's normally there also, you could do this. He won't see you if you don't get in view close enough, so you can just hit him like that. So, yeah. Alright, we'll have to make the jump. Hopefully I can... Oh, you're in the way. Okay. Alright. Well, definitely this time I'm using this method to get out of here. Warping. Yep. Okay, so real quick, I'm probably gonna have to end the video soon, but I'm gonna try to get Goldie, as I call him, or Lautrec is his name, that's up in the Paris. So let's go up there and get that guy. And the Chandler's still alive and everything because I had to restart. And so anyway. And I haven't returned to the asylum either, so I don't have that shield that's good against magic. So currently this is the best shield against magic, the Grass Crest shield, for our character right now. Upgraded my weapon either, but whatever. I mean to +6, but that's okay. God. Hang on, my fan is going really loud and I just want to make sure that we're really being captured still. Alright. Which always, I mean, because of, I have so many extra enemies in Parish that makes the computer work hard, since I'm also making a video. So of course he's buffed them and everything, and oh god. And there's that aura that I get because of the blue tearstone ring. Added defense because I was under 20%. Just trying to hurry. But that's one thing I've said too. You know, in playing Dark Souls, it's best to have patience, because you're less likely to die if you have some patience with playing. You take things a little slowly and stuff. I needed to manage my stamina right there. I don't... Who are you? That's what it sounds like he says. Alright. So that Black Knight may or may not be in our way that I've added. Oh, this soul I haven't got this time, so I guess I'll get it. Oh, I'll say, I kind of thought about the fact that, you know, I'm gonna get even more souls than I had last time, because I've already made my character be leveled up to what she was before all these previous videos, but I'm getting all these souls that are loot and gonna do the, you know, several boss fights over again. You know, try to do them quickly like I did Capra Demon. And so, therefore, I'm going to be able to level up even further than a person normally could do unless they farmed a lot. But, because I did think perhaps I would do some faith because of that. Or make intelligence be a little bit higher so we can use some more powerful spells once we get to them. So maybe it's a benefit that way. So, yeah. So we're gonna go this way. I have the master key, so it doesn't matter. Yep, there's that knight. You just go through here. You can hit it a row or whatever, and there's Lautrec. Yep, I'm still human and stuff, and it takes a while for that to work. But I use Master Key. I don't think you actually have to talk to him, but I just did just to be doing. So now he will return to Firelink, as in right now he will. I mean, once we're down there, he will get out on his own. You know, if you kill the gargoyles, then he'll be down there on his own. But I assume he probably also won't give you the gift he's going to give you. He probably won't give you the gift he's going to give you if you didn't let him out. So, which is a sunlight metal, which is something that you use in Faith. Actually, what you use it for is at that covenant of the broken statue that's by the sunlight, you know, the sunlight bonfire that's beyond the Red Drake's Bridge, and you know, the entrance to Parish from the front way. You almost positive that's what you use it for. You level up in that covenant with that item, and it will get you a miracle that's called Lightning Spear that you hold up above your head, and you throw a lightning bolt. So yeah, that goes in one direction and stuff, and you can aim it and everything. So anyway, I guess we'll use the bonfire just to be doing. So we come down here, and there he is, sitting there, and I'm going to make for sure yet again that I'm really being recorded. Our firekeeper's still over there, so first let's talk to him.
Ah, hello there. I have your reward. Please, accept it.
Sunlight metal, yep.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now.
Yeah, so you know, most every friendly NPC in Dark Souls laughs because this adventure and this world they're in is just so funny or whatever, apparently. But his laugh sounds extra mean or just sneaky or whatever, right? So
You again. Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
right, okay, dude. So yeah, so yes, he's a bad guy. He'll end up killing her. Just not right now. He won't. But so my suggestion, as I was saying before in another video, is to just take your weapon off, because if you hit him once or twice, and depending on how much damage your weapon does, then a fight is going to start. And he's a difficult fight. And the weapon that he uses can I can't remember what it does. Something about parrying, him being able to parry or get past the parry, something like that. But he's just going to be more difficult than normal, than enemies usually are. So yeah. All right. So if we punch him,
Well, what have we here?
yeah, he doesn't like that, but he doesn't stand up. I don't know how many times you'd have to punch him, but we kick, which is by pushing forward and the attack button at the same time. And then kind of, you know, you can't target him, so you have to kind of line it up and kick him off of here. You could actually maybe hit him with something like the Claymore and make him fall the rest of the way. Let's just see if that works. Or you could kick him, but you know, you don't want to fall off also.
You leave me.
Yeah, whatever, dude. And so his loot doesn't show up because he fell down there, so we need to quit out, and we get 1,000 souls for that. So there we go, and it shows that glowing thing for a second over here, but she's okay anyway. And here it is. the real way to get it. 5 humanity and ring of favor and protection, which I suppose I'll put on again. Which gave me that much more of HP, but it doesn't fill it. You have to actually use a bonfire for it to fill, or your Estus. But so yeah, that increased the HP, as it says. You know, as it says, it boosts HP, stamina, and your maximum load. But it breaks if you remove it, so it's kind of a trap in that way, since we only have 2 ring slots in Dark Souls 1. And I'm being interrupted, and I'm sorry. Alright, I'm back. I was just... Make sure this thing's capturing me. I was just being reminded that I have to go to the bus. So, yeah, I'll just bring it out back to here and do my send-off that I usually do. There's probably going to be less time than it normally is. Less amount of time. So we got that now, right? And of course I had that cheat going that let me just fast roll. Let's see if we can fast roll without it being on. Now that I have that ring. Nope, not yet. Not while I have these 2 on. Let's see. Yeah, without those on I can, and put one of them on. And now, need Havel's ring too, apparently. Or maybe with the sorcerer's outfit I could. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing that turn around, trying to think of what we did this time. Yeah, we'll continue this. And as I said, thank you for having patience with me as I'm trying to get better at commentating, but probably not. But hopefully it's a good learning experience, or just enjoyable to watch, and or both. And I'm gonna get that music off. And so yeah, we'll pick this up a little bit later and everything, and as I've said before, Dark Souls is an awesome game. It just takes some experience and some practice to get better at it, and hopefully this is helping you, and yeah. Alright, we'll get it off of this screen and put down the controller and stuff, and then alright. Thank you for viewing and watch me and stuff, and put it back on this, and alright, goodbye.